Look, I mean, it's interesting, right? We're doing a continuation, these Black afterthoughts, and look, Drew Brees today, but this wasn't about Drew Brees. Let's just be clear, right?
Nah.
Drew Brees stepped.
He caught them strays though.
Yeah, Drew, you stepped in it. Like you stepped in it, so you caught it.
Yeah.
You caught the chopper spray because
Yeah.
I mean that's what it is. We said sit in it, revel in it, be uncomfortable, feel the heat. That pressure needs to be turned up. But let's be clear, anyone can step in that, and there's a real teachable moment in that.
Yeah, he was just a stand-in for the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, it is what it is, bro. At this point, like sometimes you need that, and hopefully it's a learning experience from him, which I think he's going to learn from it, and I don't foresee him making this type of mistake again. And if he does, he's too smart. He really showing who he is.
Do that.
But before we go any further, I want to just go on record and say I was talking about Dr. Umar Johnson.
This man up here
It's too late.
It's not too late, bro. It's not too late. I was talking about a real
it's like a comedian trying to come back and explain one of their jokes. Like, if y'all didn't catch it, let me break it down for you. So here's the story.
It just don't work. It don't work that way.
Nah.
You cannot come back
all good,
the next day, right? On social media talking about, what I meant last night in the stand-up. Nah. It don't work that way.
It's all good.
Take your L like you took, like Drew Brees.
Take that L.
Take that L. Right?
Take that L.
Yeah, man. You got to take your L. I'll take my L. It is what it is. But yeah, man. I think we're at a point now, like we were talking on the episode, bro. It's like we just got to stop being so forgiving and really just stop being so forgiving. ... publicly. Forgiving your heart, that's fine. But let everybody else, let them catch that heat, bro. Like they gotta catch that heat because right now, a person that did something like Drew Brees, he feels that, I'm about to be up out of this in about another week. I'll be up out of this. Like I don't have to worry about anything. Let me make a few posts here and there, but next week, this didn't happen in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to let them feel more heat, bro. Like we didn't even talk about in the episode. Did y'all see? You heard the news about what's the Clemson head coach?
Dabo. Old
Dabo.
Dabo
Did you hear about this? It was
no.
It was like 3 years ago. One of his coaches allegedly said the N-word to a player. And Dabo, he basically came out a week later and said that, the reason why that happened because the player said the N-word and the coach was correcting him saying like, we don't talk like that, but he used the N-word too.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
All right. So it helped me understand. So, man, coach, why you riding me, man?
Well, it was something.
We don't say that, huh?
It wasn't that exact, but basically it was something like the player was on some like he made a bad play or something. And he was like, man, nigga in my way or something like that. And then the coach was like, no, you shouldn't be saying niggas in your way. And then but then Dabo, like, the whole time he had on like a Football Matter shirt. So it was just the optics were off because it's like
Football Matters.
That's what I'm saying. It was
this is what I'm talking about right here.
Dabo, you catch these,
Like, nah, bro. Like, that's man, like straight up. Shout out. Let me talk to black athletes right now. All right, go to HBCUs. Forget all these other colleges. Matter of fact, and this will never happen. I hope it does for the sake of our people. But if we actually get the heart and courage to stand up to the institutions, perfect word, that use us up for their money, and we never really get the full benefit of it, And screw that, like, no, you made it to the NFL because of us. No, screw you. I made it to the NFL because of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we don't start standing up to these institutions the way that we should, where all Black athletes disregard all these SEC and Big East and big whatever teams and flood HBCUs or flood, you know, somewhere else, man. Like, because that kind of stuff right there can't ride.
Well, I mean, that's even me where I had to challenge myself and break myself from that mental stronghold when LeBron made the decision that he did in the decision. Right? Like, and we don't have to go too far down that road because this is not a conversation other than the idea of the liberation one can have in being able to make a decision that they want to make and what's best for them, their family, their brand, period. The same way that a owner and a front office for any number of teams across all sports will say, all right, this player, they're a relic of themselves. They're no more useful to this organization than they were at any other point. All right, that person, they're good. They're a good fit. Let's keep them. They're injury prone. Let's try to waiver them and all this. And like, it's business when it's their decision. But when it comes to us, it's ungrateful. It's like shut up and dribble. It's the you don't know any better. It's all of these other considerations that I think, we're not rocking with that no more. And that's where I would say shout out to LeBron and others obviously, but like specifically shout out to LeBron for making that a part of where we are right now in this modern era of NBA basketball specifically. And I say that, Marlon, is to the point you're making, right? Like, I get it. Prime time, TV share. There is an opportunity because there is a pipeline from certain big programs into professional ranks. But I do
dollar signs.
Yeah, I do agree that there is more to that than many of these players understand, which is themselves. Like, nobody's coming to see Dan Gilbert at the Cavaliers arena. Like,
at all.
Like, zero. His family, his loved ones are the only one that may, and that's probably a 10%. Like,
bro.
They going to see whoever the player is.
Brian play too. Like, that's just the truth. That's just the truth, man. It's one of those things where we live in a time where I just think the optics is really what it is. Like, people look at stuff and they see these athletes, right? And these athletes make a tremendously large amounts of money if you compare it to just the average, person, right? And so we see them and they on this scale, but then you forget that somebody cuts their checks. And when you start thinking about the people that are cutting their checks, like, if we got these people that are making hundreds of millions of dollars, somebody got to pay that, right? So they definitely up here with the bread. And when their decision making starts to shift, then not only do you see the whole league start to change, now you get to see, it's like if all the players tomorrow just said that we ain't playing.
Trust me.
We ain't playing.
All the change is happening legitimately overnight.
Anything
that you need to happen will happen.
Anything that you need to happen. I mean,
or as a people, like, if we stand up to some of these, businesses that have boldly spoken out against us or made statements that were completely, like, tone deaf of the moment. Like, imagine if all of New Orleans said, screw you, Drew Brees, and legit didn't come to a game.
Well, that's the thing, though. So, Mo, to that point, that is actually a part of what happened. The protests that were going on for George Floyd also then started including bump the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees.
And F. Drew Brees and
I mean, so much that
and
like
look at the response.
I was about to say so much that a certain someone on a certain conservative news network even went on her show and started making some statements around like, oh, and look at all these people and like tearing this man down. He's a good Christian man, and it's all other stuff like that. I mean, that, hey, like I said,
bro, I'd be wanting to know, does she really be feeling like that, or is at this point she's playing a position?
She's playing a position, but she probably feel like that too.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of it. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't even want to invoke her name. I don't even want to. He ain't rocking with none of that. But it's a good question, JD. Nah, I think it's a combination of things. I mean,
it's just like these politicians that stand in on a certain side, and they ride with it to the end because they've signed up.
Yeah, so political headwinds. There's political headwinds. There's a whole other. All right, who has backed her or him and them, and they got to ride with that until the wheels fall off. There's a whole bunch of
Yeah. See, my thing is with situations like that is when you always. So I kind of equate it to rap, right? So with rap, when you have someone who's playing a character, they have to forever be that character. And the day that they don't want to be that character is the day that they fall off, right? Yeah. Like, and I use that example like a Rick Ross. I love Rick Ross music, but at the end of the day, Rick Ross got to be on 24/7. Every day he has to be most definitely, I'm a boss. He can't not do that, right? Mm-hmm. So the problem with people, when people put on a
persona,
a costume or a front, so to speak, is the day that they get tired of that, bro, it's over. And like, so you see that with like, even like the Jason Whitlocks, like you see, he just got, his contract didn't get renewed. But I just wonder.
Say that again.
Yeah, his contract didn't get renewed. Like he got cut. Ducking and jiving for Massa, and he got cut.
Like how dancer?
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like, things like that, bro. It's like when these people do stuff like that, and then the reality hit where it's like, oh, I thought I was good because I was on y'all side, and then all of a sudden, you get show like, no, we sorry, now you by yourself, stuck on the island by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know, man.
What's crazy though? The same way we talked about those lessons being learned, from on the white side, those lessons got to be learned by some of us, bro.
That's true.
We can't go rescue them Negroes either. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, at the end of the day, what's going to remind them where they came from best than being used up and spit out, chewed up and spit out,
Yeah.
So it is what it is,
And on that, we don't, because that's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
I don't want us to.
We got a lot to say.
I don't want us to steal no thunder on any of that conversation.
We got a lot to say about that.
Because trust me, there is going to be a time and there's going to be a place.
Yeah.
Us at the Black Man Think podcast right now, we know right now we're in a collective mobilization, unity. Mm-hmm. We're protesting. We're demanding justice. We're
voting.
We are voting.
Despite having to vote all the way to 12:34 a.m. down the street from me, voter suppression is real.
Yeah,
and that's whatever. Yeah, we're voting.
But trust me, we're gonna come for these. We're gonna come for those conversations soon and very soon. But we stand in solidarity. We're for this. We're driving home these points. Look, let us know what you're thinking, man. It's the Black Man Think podcast. Hit us up across all our feeds. We want to hear from you. We would love to hear your perspective. We're here for y'all. We're here for the Black men, and we're here for the Black culture. We're here for what we're trying to do. All right? So check us out.
Yeah.
The Black Men Think podcast.